politics should stay out of sports. A year of triumph amidst turmoil. Sabalenka's past year has been nothing short of spectacular. With 2 Grand Slam titles under her belt and finishing as the WTA's year-end number 1, the 26-year-old is riding high on success. Yet, her path has been far from smooth. Representing Belarus, a country tied to Russia's ongoing invasion of Ukraine, Sabalenka has faced unique pressures, competing under a neutral banner since the war began in February 2022. Reflecting on these challenges, Sabalenka told Harper's Bazaar, "It is really sad to see that sports are involved in politics in many ways. Sport was created to avoid some of the more difficult times. I really hope that we're not going to face it again. I think people will learn that sport has nothing to do with politics." The political tension Sabalenka highlighted isn't limited to Belarusian and Russian athletes. Recent controversies include protests during Naomi Osaka's match at the ASB Classic, where demonstrators voiced opposition to Israel's actions in Gaza. These protests, sparked by the October 2023 Hamas attack on Israel and the subsequent conflict, underscore the global debate over whether sports should serve as a platform for political and social activism. For Sabalenka, the focus remains on keeping sports neutral. The higher you rank, the more responsibilities you have. At the end of the day, I decide what I stand for and there is no pressure for me. If I feel like standing for something, I will do it. I always am honest and true to myself. Sabalenka's views reflect one side of a broader debate. While some argue that sports should remain apolitical, others see it as a powerful tool for raising awareness about social justice issues. Events like the suspension of ranking points at Wimbledon 2022 after the tournament banned Russian and Belarusian players showcase the tangible impact of political decisions on athletes' careers. As the 2025 season unfolds, Sabalenka remains steadfast in her mission to dominate on the court while navigating the external pressures of being an athlete in a politically charged era. Whether her call for neutrality in sports will gain traction remains uncertain, but her voice adds to the ongoing conversation about the role of athletes in global discourse. Australian Open women's singles draw, Aryna Sabalenka kicks off quest for special hat-trick against a former major champion. 2-time defending champion Sabalenka could join an elite club as she looks to become the first woman to win 3 straight singles titles down under since the prodigious Martina Hingis did so in 1997, 98 and 99. Women's singles world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka, who is seeking a hat-trick at Rod Laver Arena, takes on 2017 US Open winner Sloane Stephens as the draw for the 2025 Australian Open was made at Melbourne Park on Thursday. 2-time defending champion Sabalenka could join an elite club as she looks to become the first woman to win 3 straight singles titles down under since the prodigious Martina Hingis did so in 1997, 98 and 99. Monica Seles, Steffi Graf, Aussie legend Yvonne Goolagong and 24-time major champ Margaret Court are the others to have achieved this feat in the Open era. To be back here, and to walk here with this beautiful trophy as the 2-time defending champion is definitely something special, Sabalenka is quoted as saying at the draw ceremony by WTA. "I really hope that I can keep doing what I'm doing here in Australia. Putting your name into history and being next to those legends, it's something special." Women's second seed Iga Swiatek plays Katerina Siniakova while third seed Coco Gauff faces an early challenge against fellow American Sofia Kenin, the Australian Open champion in 2020. Paris Olympics gold medalist Zheng Qinwen, runner-up last year, meets a qualifier first up and is on a collision course with Sabalenka in the quarterfinals. 2-times champion Naomi Osaka meets Frenchwoman Caroline Garcia in a rematch of their first-round encounter last year, which the Japanese player lost in straight sets shortly after her return to the tour from a long maternity break. There are question marks over Osaka's fitness, however, after an abdominal injury forced her to quit while leading Clara Tauson in her first WTA final in almost 3 years in Auckland on Sunday. For Sanya Mirza, Aryna Sabalenka is the best bet in Melbourne. Sabalenka comes into the Australian Open as the defending champion and looking for her 3rd title on the trot at the Rod Laver Arena. Aryna Sabalenka grew from strength to strength in 2024, overcoming injuries and consolidating herself as the year-end number 1 with 2 Grand Slam titles under her belt. She comes into the Australian Open as the defending champion and looking for her 3rd title on the trot at the Rod Laver Arena. She also started 2025 on the right note, winning the Brisbane International. And Sania Mirza, former world #1 doubles player, feels she is the favorite to win the first Grand Slam of the year. Asked whether her current form indicate that Sabalenka would dominate the women's tennis scenario this year, Sania said during a virtual interaction, "I don't know if she will dominate the whole year. But she is going in as a favorite for the Australian Open for sure. The court suits her. It plays fast, it is hot in Australia, and she has spoken about how she likes the conditions there. She has been a champion here twice, 2023 and 2024, and she has had good results on similar surface. Well, there is always Iga Swiatek. And you really cannot take Coco Gauff off the mix. But, having said all that, I still feel Sabalenka is the best bet." Asked how the doping controversy has affected Swiatek, Sania said, "I think anything that happens off the court definitely affects the players, but how a player chooses to deal with it is on them. She should not let it distract her from the game." On the men's side, Sania said while it is still possible for Novak Djokovic to win, her personal favorite is Jannik Sinner. "Sinner is my favorite, though you can never write off Djokovic. He has won the Australian Open 10 times. And I think this time there is less pressure on him, he is ranked #7, to win. But it's going to be a problem for the other title contenders. Nobody wants to meet Djokovic in the quarter-finals. They would rather play him in the final," she opined. The Australian Open will be live on Sony Sports Network from January 12.